Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday the 22nd, 2022. In today's Mill news, our new neighbours are not happy. Let's have a read of this from KentLive.news. So Sevenoaks neighbours fury over Greenbelt Mill FC training ground plans. Neighbouring residents have said the local village is getting nothing out of the new facility, and of course, if you don't know, this is in regard to Mill's new training ground at West Kingsdown, which the planning documents have been approved. The Secretary of State has not objected to the plans, so it is set to go ahead. Mill are proceeding. They just need to figure a few things out, like how they're actually going to build it, because that is probably the worst thing that can happen now. Plans have recently been approved for a brand new Millwall training complex in Sevenoaks, but many neighbouring residents are not pleased. On October 20th, Sevenoaks Council's Planning Committee gave the green light for the construction of this new complex on the 50-acre Greenbelt plot located off Falcon Road. Such plans would see the construction of numerous indoor and outdoor football pitches. Technically that's wrong. There's one indoor football pitch and the rest are outdoor, and there's a few buildings as well, because they're building actually Mill's offices will be there instead of at the Den. Because currently you've got the offices at the Den, you've got obviously the first team football pitches at the Den. You've got the training ground at Calmont Road, which is first team training ground, and I believe academy as well. But then for the younger academy players, you've got Eltham, which is the Blackheath Rugby Club. I believe that's where it is. So it's spread over many sites, and not only is this going to be a new training ground, it's going to be a new office. There's going to be a few office buildings there as well. So such plans will see the construction of numerous indoor and outdoor football pitches, buildings for staff and security, artificial turf and training areas, as well as 200 car parking spaces. The club has said that key aim for the facility is to bring about meaningful and positive contribution to West Kingsdown and surrounding areas. Announcing the approval of the plans, Lions Chief Executive Steve Kavanagh said, "This is of course incredibly important, very positive news for the football club. We are very thankful to all those who have contributed to helping get the club to this point in what was a long and complex process, and we're excited about progressing further in the months ahead." However, while this announcement excited some, others feel frustrated and annoyed by the plans. Residents of Falcon Road have made their views clear about the project, feeling the plans have been rushed through and claiming the local community is getting nothing from the complex. One key issue residents have is the facility will be built on Greenbelt land. Previously, Sevenoaks MP Laura Trott has been outspoken on her beliefs of such zones, stating in a recent article on her website, "My views on the Greenbelt are well known. Greenbelt land is rightly protected, and if a speculative planning application is put in for Greenbelt, the answer should be no." What relevance does that have here? What relevance does that have here? It's Greenbelt land that is being converted into football pitches. You're not building anything there. There's literally not going to be any massive building work. You're not going to have to build massive foundations. I believe where the site where they are building the building is going to be where the original farmhouse stood many years ago. So you're not building massive stuff there. It's Greenbelt land that is now going to have green football pitches on them. You're not building on Greenbelt land. You're slightly adjusting it. Like, you're not paving over the whole thing. You're not concreting over the whole thing. You're not building a road over the whole thing. You're literally jigging it around a bit and putting some football pitches down. With the plans having progressed, the neighbours have done much to challenge the project, such as attending council meetings, writing to Laura Drop and their local councillors, plus meeting with Mill FC. But with the plans now finally approved, however, their frustrations have come to a head. Brian Smith, pictured above, 76, lives on Falcon Road, opposite to where the new grounds were located. He begins. They said it was going to be good for the community, lovely for the children and everything else, but it's a private development. No public are allowed inside, no children unless they belong to the academy. It's going to be of no consequence to the village whatsoever. The only people that can go in there are employees of Millwall Football Ground and academy kids. Brian also states the area does not have the infrastructure for such a complex. He said, it's near enough the last piece of greenbelt land around West Kingsdown Village. The road outside my cottage is 4.9 metres wide and all the traffic that's going to come down. It's a narrow country lane, a 60-mile-per-hour road. It's frightening. There are no footpaths down to this training ground. There's no crossing, nowhere they can go. They've got no electric here, only overhead cables. We've got no sewerage there, no water down that way. So where's the logic in that? There isn't any logic in it whatsoever. Brian is also currently recovering from a recent stroke and discussing on the approval left him feeling. He said, I'm devastated. I'll have another stroke, I think. Well, please don't do that, Brian. I mean, so yeah, one thing I will point. So if this road is so narrow, why is it 60 miles an hour? That seems kind of stupid. Especially if that is a picture of it there. With the blind bend, why is it 60 miles an hour? I don't think it is because that says Sussex Lights, so I don't think that's. I think it might be that narrow. Why are narrow country lanes 60 miles an hour? And in terms of the electric and sewerage, yeah, that's Millwall going to have to pay for that to be put in, aren't they? That's what it's going to take. West Kingsdown Village is getting nothing out of this. So here we go. This is Mick Titchener. He's 67. Wow. Fetching leather cap there. He said he feels disgusted. Mick Titchener, 67, has lived in West Kingsdown for 14 years and worked in the construction industry for more than 4 decades. He said, many residents when this first came up were very open-minded. We are now so frustrated and annoyed because this has been pushed through, and this is sinister. We're obviously concerned that the West Kingsdown village is getting nothing out of this. There's 25 residents' houses going to get blighted. They can't reduce traffic at all. They're only going to increase the traffic. And there they are. So these are the cottages involved. These are the ones, literally, I think, it seems, the people living here are the ones who are objecting. Most other people in the village, they don't really care or they're supportive. But they are, this is happening, so they are right there opposite. This is their neighbour. They're going to be affected by it. So yeah. But what I would say about that is, look, listen, when it's built and it's done and it's going on, I don't think it's going to be a problem. It's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. I don't think that the concerns that they have are going to be that much of a concern. But what will be a problem is as it's being built, that is annoying as fuck, and I know that from where I live. There's massive projects going on, building work and stuff like that. They close pavements down, they close roads down. There's big lorries getting in the way, blocking up the traffic and stuff. It's loud and it's noisy. There's dust and shit everywhere, and they don't spray it. They don't spray it down off the fucking pavement outside, so you're walking in it, and you're getting your welcome mat all dirty or inside your house all day. So that's the problem. Is not once it's been built. I think once it's been built, it's not going to be a problem. Well, I'm sure they're still going to be pissed off about it, but it's not going to be as bad as they think it's going to be. I think the problem will be the construction of it, and that's one of the things that Millwall have to negotiate. They have to draw up a plan. How are they going to get all the building materials and the workers? on site and away from site. What route are they going to take? Now, like they just said here, narrow country lane, Falcon Road. It might be that Mill will have to take a site elsewhere in the village or nearby, maybe closer to the M25 or somewhere, where the big lorries drive up to, dump all their stuff, and then they load it onto a smaller van that shuttles it there. They might have to do things like that with a forklift and stuff like that. Take it off. Because how are you going? If you get the big trucks driving down here, that's going to be an absolute nightmare. And they have made plans. Millwall made plans for car sharing and stuff like that. A mini coach to take players from, is it Longfield Station to the site rather than them all coming individually. So it's like car sharing kind of thing. So he also aired concerns around the complex being constructed on the Greenbelt zone. He said if this passes, every single piece of Greenbelt and agricultural land in Kent will be at risk. Now what will happen is this will set a precedent, so if any other football club, hockey club, rugby club, anything sporting wants to come in and buy farmland and convert it, they go to a judicial review, they will get it. And that is all we are concerned about here. I feel disgusted. Millwall FC has been approached for comments. Here at Sevenoaks MP Laura Trott has all been asked for comment. Like I said, it's Greenbelt land that's going to be used for what would you call it? Natural-ish. It's still going to be a football pitch, grass football pitch. Many of them. I think they're actually putting some ponds in as well, because they have to divert and collect the rainwater. There's going to be additional ponds. They're keeping some of the hedgerows and stuff. So I mean, it's not. There's woodland as well that they are not allowed to touch. Ancient woodland they can't touch. So Millwall will own their own woodland, which is nice. It's literally. It's not. When they say, "Oh, you're building on green belt," you're not building on it. You're not, because literally in 50 years' time or whenever, someone could come in, convert the training grounds, scrape everything off, and turn it back into greenbelt land, and they could reuse it as farmland. It would literally not be impossible to do that for either agricultural land or grazing land. But apparently, the report from the planning documents, the farmland there, the soil was not of good quality, or something like that, and it was actually used as an orchard, and that wasn't profitable. So that site's it's not viable as an agricultural concern. So this is beneficial to them, because I'm telling you, in terms of greenbelt land, someone tried to build on that land before. They tried to get planning permission. They put the documents in for a solar panel farm. They were going to fill the place with solar panels and generate electricity. And I don't know what happened to that. Whether they were opposed to that, but the planning for that was it wasn't rejected because they would withdraw it, but it's still on the books. You can still search it up and see it. So in terms of them, they got lucky here that they're having a football pitch here put on here, and not massive housing estate. Because housing estates are being built all over the shop. There are golf. If you go into the planning documents on Sevenoaks District Council TN156AY, and you look and see proposed alternative venues for this, which is a document the Mill put up about why have they chosen this site. They've gone through all that kind of thing. There are a number of golf clubs in South London that could possibly be up for sale. Because Millwall said, oh, this is the price. So if you live next to any of these golf clubs, and I think there's a farm that's like literally surrounded by houses. I think it was in St Mary Cray or Swanley, something like that. Or it might have been Barnhurst, somewhere close, like close to London. They were obviously, this is being touted as this land is for sale. So if you live near that, if you live near a golf club in South East London, be very aware that there is a very strong possibility that you could end up with 500 houses being built on that. And I'm sure if you would rather have 500 houses just suddenly pop up next to you, or Millwall Football Club build 10 pitches, which get used in the morning and then a little bit at night, and that's it. I'm pretty sure you're probably going to go for the football pitches, so be careful what you don't wish for. Just say that. Now let's move on to this from southwarknews.co.uk. Obviously, slow news day. We're still waiting for the Brøndby game. You excited for that? £10. It's this Saturday. Brøndby game. Millwall back this Saturday. Supercomputer predicts optimistic outcome for Millwall's playoff ambitions. The Lions are open to contend for a place in next season's Premier League. So, a supercomputer has predicted that Millwall will secure top 6 finish based on their first 20 matches of the Championship campaign. The Lions currently 6-6 in the league table, having won 9, drawn 4 and lost 7 of their games so far this season. Should they beat Sunderland at Stadium Light next weekend, they will leapfrog both Norwich City and Watford to move into the 4th place. Indeed, why is that? Because that's our game in hand. That's our game in hand. This is the game that was suspended from when Her Majesty the Queen died. A lot of the other teams have already played that game. They played it 2 weeks ago in the midweek. However, 538, who are they exactly? Championship forecasters predicted them to finish one place lower, albeit that they believe Gary Rowett's men will still qualify for the playoffs, picking up 71 points with a goal difference plus 11. It claims that Mill have a 5% chance of winning the league, a 12% chance of winning promotion, a 34% chance of qualifying for the top 6, and less than a 1% chance of suffering relegation to League One. Oh my god, we could still get relegated. The forecast has Burnley winning the league title, with Sheffield United finishing just behind them. Down the other end of the table, they predicted that Huddersfield Town, Hull City and Wigan will all drop to the 3rd tier at the end of the campaign. In the playoffs, Millwall would face Norwich for a place in the final Wembley, against either Watford or Coventry City. You can see 538's full forecast for the Championship table. Now I'm alright. Yeah, these tables are, they say supercomputer. It's dog shit. What they do, so they just look at Millwall's results so far, all the teams' results so far, and just go points per game. What's your points per game? Oh, 2.2. Okay, so you've got 2.2 points per game so far. How many more games you got left? You got 20. Okay, so 20 times 2.2. Add that to your points you already get. That's what you're gonna. That's why the table is literally the same as it is now. Basically, there's no difference. Now you could do that a bit more with a bit more finesse by doing it for home games and then away games, and then doing them separately and then add it together. Because obviously, Millwall's points per game in away games not so good, but for home games, best in the league ish. So there you go. So it's just garbage, isn't it? But what I did say, what I'm looking at, is the next 3 games against teams we haven't played yet: Sunderland, Luton, Wigan. Because after that, we would have played all of the teams at least once, 23 times, 23 games. Where do we sit then? I'm hoping we're still in the playoff places then, because if we've played each team once and we're in the playoff places, why can we not do it again? Go on the back end. We usually have strong finishes in season, especially when we've got something to play for because the fans come out. Fans are up for it, they're excited, they think something's going to happen, and they go and support the team and they cheer them on. So, we could have that in the run up to the end of the season. And like I said, if we played every team at least once and we're in the playoffs, we can certainly do it again. We can play them again 23 times and finish in the playoffs. Why? Why not? So there you go. Supercomputers. Yeah, right. Whatever. Now you know it's a slow news day in terms of domestic football because here, look at this. Look at this. I'm going to show you this. This is the Reading Chronicle.co.uk. They made a story out of former Millwall player Jem Karacan putting up a post on LinkedIn. Yeah, he's put up a post on LinkedIn saying he's got a new job, and they made that into a story. So Reading FC favourite returns to former club Millwall as a scout. Former Reading favourite Jem Karacan has revealed that he's now a scout. Championship side Millwall, the 33-year-old, rose through the ranks in Berkshire, spending 22 years in total and playing almost 200 times for the first team. His time at the club ended in 2015 after a memorable run the FA Cup semi-final, but his poor luck with injuries meant he did not play as much as he should have in the 8 years he spent with the first team. After a short-lived spell with Turkish giants Galatasaray, the midfielder continued to play with the likes of Bolton Wanderers and Scunthorpe United. Making 6 appearances for Millwall in the 2018-19 campaign, the Turkey Youth International has returned to the Den as part of the recruitment setup. He joined non-league outfit Radcliffe FC over the summer, still lining out in the North Premier League on occasion. Announcing the news on his LinkedIn page, the 2012 Championship winner has been with the Lions in Bermondsey since October. Former Royals Jake Cooper, George Evans and Bennett Foley make up a large Reading contingent at Millwall. There you go. So he's literally posted on his LinkedIn that he's got a scouting job at Millwall. I don't know if it's like they were advertising for a scouting job, I think, like a big one. I don't know if it's that one or like a lesser one, but he's still playing. He's playing for Radcliffe FC in the Northern Premier League. So I don't know, is he going to be scouting the opposition? Is he going to be like marking a man in the corner saying, "Look, you're having a good game. You want to come on trial at Millwall?" Could be doing that. I don't know. But yeah, there you go. Fantastic stuff there, isn't it? It's so dead. We're talking about LinkedIn posts when people are announcing they've got a new job. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.